of the United States Navy?
The dangers would be artificial general intelligence or digital superintelligence.
Elon Musk just claimed the Navy's new warship is unstoppable. A vessel powered by endless energy, armed with railguns, lasers, and AI shields that sound like pure science fiction. Washington froze, Beijing panicked, and Moscow scrambled. Could one ship really rewrite global strategy, protecting allies while terrifying rivals? Or does this bold leap risk sparking an arms race the world is not ready for? Today, we dive into the unstoppable carrier and why Musk's shocking words may have just changed the oceans forever. Shockwaves across the world. When Elon Musk spoke about the Navy's new carrier, the words traveled faster than any ship at sea. A short statement carried through news outlets, defense reports, and political briefings. It was not just another military update. It was something that made even seasoned experts stop and think. Could one vessel hold enough power to change global strategy? In Washington, questions rose about what this meant for allies and rivals. In Beijing and Moscow, officials studied every line of information, searching for clues. Defense forums filled with heated debates, while television networks rushed to bring analysts onto their shows. Each tried to explain what unstoppable could really mean. This was more than curiosity. It was anxiety. For nations that have spent years building missiles, submarines, and drones to keep American carriers at a distance, the idea of a ship immune to such threats was unsettling. Musk's words did not simply describe a ship. They hinted at a shift in the balance of oceans, a reminder that old strategies might no longer work. The legacy of carriers and the bold claim. For more than a century, the aircraft carrier has been the floating symbol of American reach. During World War II, these giants carried the fight across the Pacific and shaped the outcome of battles that decided history. In the decades that followed, carriers became the core of U.S. strategy, projecting power into every corner of the world. Wherever a crisis unfolded, a carrier strike group was often the first response. But this new claim suggests a break from everything that came before. Previous carriers were powerful, yet vulnerable to new weapons designed to sink them. Hypersonic missiles, advanced submarines, and swarms of drones had begun to challenge the old dominance of these sea fortresses. Many experts warned that the age of the carrier might be fading. Musk's words suggest the opposite. They point to a future where one ship could outpace every threat and restore absolute control of the seas. For rivals, this is troubling. For allies, it is reassuring. It marks a turning point, a bold statement that the role of the carrier is not ending, but evolving into something far greater. Weapons once seen as fiction. The new carrier is said to carry weapons that sound like ideas from a future that had not yet arrived. Among them are high-energy lasers, beams of light so strong they can cut through drones, missiles, or small vessels in seconds. These weapons do not rely on stacks of ammunition. As long as power flows, they can keep firing without pause. Alongside the lasers is a railgun, a weapon that fires projectiles using pure electromagnetic force. Unlike normal shells, these rounds travel at several times the speed of sound. The impact is so great that even distant targets can be struck with precision and destructive force. Years of research brought this concept close to reality, but placing it on an active warship changes the game entirely. The ship also holds defenses that seem almost unreal. Reports speak of electromagnetic shields, creating a protective barrier around the vessel. Guided by artificial intelligence, these systems track threats in real time and react instantly. Missiles and drone swarms that once posed a danger may never get close enough to strike. With each of these systems combined, the carrier is more than a warship. It becomes a fortress built for a new era. The power that never ends. Every weapon and shield on this vessel relies on one thing above all else: energy. Without a steady supply of power, even the most advanced systems would fall silent. Traditional carriers used nuclear reactors that could run for years, but this new ship is believed to go even further. Some reports suggest it may be powered by a new generation reactor, or even a compact fusion design once thought impossible. Such a source of energy means the carrier can operate almost without limit. Railguns and lasers demand enormous amounts of power each time they fire, yet this ship can sustain them without strain. Electromagnetic launch systems that send aircraft into the sky also draw vast amounts of electricity, and here they can be used over and over without pause. This constant flow of energy does more than keep weapons active. It supports long-range radar, electronic warfare systems, and networks of drones that all need steady power to function. In the past, fleets depended on fuel convoys that were vulnerable to attack. Now this carrier could sail for years without needing resupply, making it harder than ever for rivals to cut it off from its mission. Commanding all domains. This ship is not only built to fight on the sea, it is designed to command across every domain of modern conflict. In the past, carriers were floating airfields that projected force through planes and missiles. Now the mission has expanded. Air, sea, undersea, and even cyberspace are all connected through the ship's command systems. Artificial intelligence sits at the center of this network. It links every radar, drone, aircraft, and escort ship into one picture. Information from hundreds of sources is processed in real time, giving commanders a clear view of the battlefield. A threat that appears on the horizon or under the water can be tracked instantly, with responses recommended within seconds. This allows the carrier to launch drones, direct submarines, or deploy cyber defenses without delay. Swarms of autonomous aircraft can be guided at the same time that unmanned submarines sweep for mines or hostile vessels below. Robot surface craft can join the effort, extending the carrier's reach even further. The result is a single ship that does not just project power, but orchestrates it. It becomes the brain of the fleet, capable of shaping the fight across every layer of modern warfare. Shifting global strategy. The arrival of this carrier does more than change how a single navy operates. It shakes the strategies of nations that have spent years preparing to counter American sea power. Countries like China, Russia, and Iran built weapons designed to keep carriers far from their shores. Long-range missiles, silent submarines, and drone swarms were meant to deny access and create zones where U.S. fleets could not move freely. Now those plans face a serious challenge. A vessel that can shield itself from missile attacks, strike with weapons faster than sound, and run without fuel limits is far harder to block. Old strategies that depended on overwhelming a carrier with waves of threats may no longer succeed. Rivals must rethink their tactics and invest in new approaches, knowing the advantage they once counted on has been reduced. For American allies, this shift brings reassurance. It means sea lanes can remain open and vital regions can be protected. The carrier is not only a ship, but a signal that the United States intends to hold its position as the guardian of the oceans for many years ahead. The symbol and the story. The power of this carrier is not measured only in weapons or engines. Its presence carries a meaning that reaches beyond the battlefield. For many, the ship stands as a symbol of American strength, innovation, and determination. Just as the moon landing once showed the world what the United States could achieve, this vessel now signals a new era of mastery at sea. Symbols shape how nations see each other. Allies who watch this carrier sail into their ports feel reassured that the United States will stand with them, Rivals, on the other hand, see a reminder of how difficult it will be to challenge American influence. Even before a single shot is fired, the psychological effect is powerful. At home, the carrier sparks pride. Families know their loved ones serve on a vessel built with unmatched protection. Citizens see proof that their nation leads in technology and defense. Abroad, it projects commitment and confidence in ways that speeches cannot. This story is larger than a single ship. It is about the message it sends, the fears it raises, and the hope it inspires in a world where power often speaks louder than words. Beyond the battlefield. The reach of this carrier goes far beyond the oceans. Its technologies are likely to shape the future both in war and in daily life. Power systems built to drive lasers and railguns may one day support clean energy projects. Advanced materials could lead to stronger buildings or safer vehicles. Artificial intelligence that coordinates fleets might inspire tools for transport, medicine, and industry. But with such progress comes a reaction. Rivals who cannot match the carrier directly will look for new paths. Cyber attacks, satellite weapons, and drone swarms may become their answer. Defense budgets across the world are already shifting toward these unconventional tools. This vessel does more than protect American interests. It sets off a wave of innovation and competition, forcing every nation to adapt to a future where both technology and imagination decide strength. The unstoppable carrier is more than a warship. It is a sign of where the future is heading. With weapons that never run out, power that never fades, and systems that see across every domain, it represents a new chapter in human conflict. Yet it also raises questions. Will this bring peace through strength, or push rivals to chase even riskier weapons? The answers are not clear. What is certain is that the oceans have changed. As this vessel sails, it carries both promise and warning. The world will not look at the seas the same way again.